Ladies and gentlemen, it's a great pleasure and honor to me and to the University of Tampere to welcome all of the participants of this workshop to Tampere. The organizers of the workshop, the local committee within the statistics unit of the Department of Mathematical Sciences, are to be congratulated. They have successfully invited such a big group of eminent statisticians to the University of Tampere. In most cases, the results of scientific work appear in scientific journals. This is the case also in this workshop. The fruits of this workshop, as Dr. Liski mentioned, will be published in two prestigious journals, namely in special issues of Journal of Statistical Planning and Inference and Linear Algebra and its Applications. I think that this is another reason to congratulate the organizers. On the other hand, the quality of the work of this workshop depends on you, all participants of the event. You make the workshop, especially in this case. This workshop is continuation for the two earlier statistical conferences which were held at this university. The first International Tampere Seminar on linear statistical models and their applications was held in 1983. The second International Tampere Conference in Statistics was arranged in 1987. I think that the goal of this workshop has perhaps been even more ambitious than the goals of the two earlier conferences. If I have understood correctly, the original idea was to arrange a real workshop which could be a meeting place for raising new ideas and perhaps leading to joint work and joint publications. The first university in Finland was founded in Turku in 1640. After the Turku fire in 1827, the university was moved to Helsinki. This happened in 1828. In this way, the University of Helsinki came into being. It was quite some time before the second university in Finland was founded. The Helsinki University of Technology was established in 1908. At the present time, there are 20 universities in Finland, which works out one institution for every 250,000 people. Several factors explain the relatively high number of Finnish universities. In the first place, we have both Finnish and Swedish language universities. We also have limited area universities which specialize in areas like technology and business. The third factor is regional governmental policies which supported the establishment of a network of universities in the 1960s and 70s. Today, this network covers all of Finland from north to south and east to west. This year is the Jubilee celebration of Finnish science. 1990 is the 350th anniversary of Finnish academic life. To commemorate our academic roots, Finnish universities, including this university, have arranged various events and conferences during this Jubilee celebration of Finnish science. I think that this workshop is an excellent way to take part in this Jubilee. Let it be mentioned that hundreds of universities are just now attending the opening ceremonies of the meeting of IAU at the University of Helsinki. IAU is the International Association of Universities. On Thursday, they will attend the 350th anniversary celebrations of the University of Helsinki. As a colorful procession, the university presidents and rectors will proceed to the main building of the University of Helsinki on Thursday afternoon. Our university, the University of Tampere, is celebrating its 65th anniversary this year. The forerunner of the university was founded in 1925 and was in Helsinki. When the university was moved to Tampere in 1960, it consisted of one faculty, namely the Faculty of Social Sciences. At that time, there were about 900 students at the university. The move from Helsinki to Tampere was not made without controversy. Both students and teachers resisted the idea. One argument against the move was that the university in Tampere would not attract enough students. This is just one example of how difficult it is to make predictions. Some 12,000 students attend the university today. After the university was moved from Helsinki to Tampere, it grew rapidly. In the 1960s, two new faculties were established, namely the Faculty of Humanities and the Faculty of Economics and Administration. The faculties of Medicine and Education were founded in the 1970s. So, at the present time, the university includes 5 faculties. In 1988, the oldest university in the world, the University of Bologna, celebrated its 900th anniversary. During the celebrations, hundreds of university rectors from all over the world signed the so-called Magna Charta of the European universities. Among other things, this Magna Charta expresses, on behalf of its signatories, the intention to educate future generations, to respect life itself and the great harmonies of their natural environment. I think that this idea is a key component of your thinking as experts in various areas of statistics as well. It's worth remembering that one of the basic targets of higher education is to try to look beyond the short term. In this way, we can save the future which includes a healthy environment, a future we can leave to coming generations. The role of statistics in environmental research is becoming more and more important, I think. This fact is realized also in the statistics community, which has recently founded a new journal in this area. Environmental issues are of great importance in Finland, in the country that depends on forests for its living. In 1984, Finland's total exports were valued at 81 billion Finmarks. Wood products, excluding furniture, accounted for 7 billion Finmarks of the total. Paper products, printing and publishing accounted for 24 billion marks of the total value of exports. In all, Finland earned nearly 30 billion marks from the export of forest products. This figure was nearly 38% of Finland's total export income in 84. In 86, the figure was again the same, 38%. For the sake of comparison, it's worth noting that metal products, machinery and equipment accounted for 28% of the total export income in 84. Thus, for that year, the forestry and metal industries brought in 68% of Finland's export income. From the standpoint of economics, it's important to remember that the Finnish metal industry depends heavily on imported raw materials. In 84, 12 billion marks worth of material were imported for the manufacture of metal products, machinery and equipment. This figure was more than 50% of the total income from exports of metal products. During the same year, the corresponding figure for the forest products was only 10%. From these statistics, it's easy to see that Finland lives on and in its forests. Unlike metal industry, uses renewable resources. From the period 1984, the average annual forest growth was estimated to be 68 million cubic meters. In 86, the timber harvest was about 50 million cubic meters. As a reference value, it's worth mentioning that the total volume of timber stock was estimated to be about 1,600 million cubic meters during the period from 77 to 84. Thus, the annual harvest is about 3% of the total timber stock. A point of interest is that 82% of the total volume of timber stock is pine and spruce, that kind of trees that are rather sensitive to environment. Besides resources, another key consideration in production is energy consumption. Producing energy also has implications for the environment. Unfortunately, the forest product industry is energy intensive. In 1985, the industry consumed nearly 50% of the total industrial use of electricity. What is the likelihood that our total volume of timber stock will continue to thrive? What is the likelihood that the Finnish forests will continue to be a renewable natural resource? I think that the answer depends on all of us, on mankind. The answer will determine how healthy our environment will be in the future. And to a large extent, our future depends on the state of the environment. It follows that we must recognize that man has been the primary cause of environmental changes. Ladies and gentlemen, the university community has always been international. Among other things, this means that our community is not limited by geographical boundaries. International conferences are one manifestation of this concept. International conferences make it possible for us to get to know our colleagues in different countries and cultures. This contact encourages the mutual understanding that we need today, again, more than ever. The Finnish universities have set an ambitious goal to reach before the end of this century. It is the purpose that 1/3 of the Finnish university students should have possibility to study at a foreign university at least 6 months, but preferably a whole academic year during their undergraduate studies. Our goal means that about 5,000 Finnish university students will study abroad every year in the future. About 400 of them will be students from this university. Student and teacher mobility is extremely important, to my mind, also in statistics, a subject that has applications in all areas of human life. I think that the statisticians should seriously attack the problem of promoting the mobility among statisticians. One of the main purposes of the university is to reach new that also this event will be a forum for the generation of new ideas and useful discussions. I wish every success in your workshop. Thank you very much.